Good afternoon. It's a wonderful, dreary, wet, rainy, dismal. Actually, it's a very nice day, very relaxing day. I was supposed to go and do a shooting video today, but black powder and rain don't mix very well. So, can't ride. Well, I could if I wanted to get really wet, but eh. So I decided, I got a pipe and some tobacco that I wanted to do a quick review on. If you saw by the thumbnail, you already figured out what the tobacco is, and it's Privateer. Now, I've already smoked some of this, and it's good. It's in English, typical English, not slathered in perique, thankfully. And don't get me wrong, I like perique, but sometimes some of these mixes can be a perique bomb. And I do have a little bit of a problem with perique because if I retrohale it or even little French inhale kind of thing, it lights my nose up, lights my sinuses on fire. It's kind of like doing snuff, at least from me. So it's kind of like, damn it, that kind of thing. So and it's not an overly strong tobacco. Sometimes English is going to be very strong. This is actually really quite smooth. And it gives you a good amount of smoke. I mean, you can really crank on it and fill a room up with it, but it's not how I like to smoke it usually. So, give me a second here. Yeah, even Scully's got to have a skull tamper. So I got my nickname. Now, the pipe I'm smoking, kind of a neat little pipe. This is a Crown Royal 1002. Kind of like a bent apple. It's turned out to be a really good pipe, but it took a while to break in. Actually, it's still breaking in a little bit. But for the cost of these, what do you care? So you work with it a little bit. Actually, the one that took me longest to break in was actually a Morgan Bones pipe that I got. That took quite a while to break in. Molina's and even the Graybo that broke in pretty quick. Here's the interesting thing for me, at least the way I look at it, is the cost of this pipe is about the same as we'll say, a slightly upscaled version or slightly upscale corncob pipe from Missouri Meerschaum. So to me, it was a no-brainer. I do have a corncob. I think everybody usually at one point in time gets one. Mine was like a $12 corncob, really, basket corncob. But what you would spend for like your Tom Sawyer or your poker or whatever, you can get one of these. And it's a briar pipe. So for the cost of a corncob, I can buy a briar. And I like these better than corncob pretty much whenever I smoke a corn cob, pretty much everything tastes like canned corn. I don't know why. Not because it is corn, but yeah, I don't know if anybody else has that problem where everything gets a slight corn taste to it with a corn cob. I don't know, but this is my video for today. It's a real quick one. Uh, just sitting around the house being domestic. Took a few minutes to come sit out here on the deck and just after a nice big thunderstorm. Yeah, I love thunderstorms. So long as the lightning's not hitting my house, I'm pretty happy when that doesn't happen. But sitting out here, listening to the thunder, rumble across the sky and the occasional lightning, flashing around, I like that. And the sound of the rain, very, very relaxing. A lot of times I'll come out and sit out here and have a pipe and listen to the rain. Old man shit. I'm talking and I ain't smoking. It's been so damp around here. One other question. Maybe you guys have run across this. When it's really damp out, do you get an extra moisture buildup in your pipes? Because I don't have air conditioning. I really wreaks havoc with my wife's sinuses and asthma or whatever. So we just don't bother with air conditioning. So if it's 90% humidity out here, which it has been for the past week or so, it's been 90 plus percent humidity. If I'm smoking like a Virginia or occasionally, and very occasionally, an aromatic, um, I'll get so much moisture buildup in the pipe that the last little bit in the bottom of the bowl, the last little bit unburnt tobacco is ridiculous. You couldn't even smoke it. It was so wet. I don't know. Maybe it's one of them was this pipe. The other one is the Morgan Bones. Um, they both seem to suck up moisture like crazy in the bottom of the bowl. Whether it's the shape of the bowl, the depth of the bowl, I have no clue. Um, both my bulldog and my Rhodesian, no problem. Or either of my two little pipes that you saw the other day, my two little what are they, pearwood pipes from Poland. They're wide and shallow bowls, so they don't seem to build up moisture nearly as much as this is actually rather a deep bowl for the size pipe that it is. I can get a good knuckle and change down in there. A second. Well, I don't know. Put in the comments, see if you run across it. I've never really paid it much mind until this year. Then, past few times I've been smoking in this weather. I mean, I don't care. I can throw out the last little bit of tobacco. It's no big deal. I'm not one of these guys that I got to smoke ash right to the very bottom, to where you're sucking ash into your mouth, which is probably incredibly foolish. But I know some guys that are that bed buggy about it. They're that nuts about it that they got to get burn every ounce of that tobacco, every every little grain of tobacco. They got to get it smoked. I know a guy over at their local pipe shop, a little brick and mortar we got here. It's a really nice little store. Um, he's one of those guys who's he's like, "Oh, I just smoke it till it's right down to nothing. It's just pure ash by the time I'm done." Okay, not my style. I don't think that, to me, if I get any ash down into get down that low to the pipe where ash could have a tent, to get up inside. Nah. And I do have one pipe where it's drilled cockeyed. It's not drilled at the very bottom. It's drilled, just a fraction of an inch off the bottom. So there's always unburnt tobacco in that pipe. Um, Actually, that's the Morgan Bone pipe. Is they can't get to the bottom of the bowl. So if I do smoke it down too far, it'll suck ash. Play on words. Anyhow, I think that's it for today, guys. You guys have well, this is my weekend, so your weekend's coming up Friday. Most people. So have a good week, and when you get a chance, do some fun shit. We'll see you later.